In the world of archaeology, few discoveries are as exciting and intriguing as finding an object that is both ancient and unique. Such is the case with the so-called meteoric dagger of Tutankhamun. Tutankhamun, also known as the Boy King, is one of the most well-known pharaohs of ancient Egypt. He was the last pharaoh of his family line and ruled Egypt from 1333 until 1323 BC. Despite his brief reign of just 9 years, he left an indelible mark on history, with his tomb becoming one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of all time. Amidst all of the golden splendour, an artifact was found that was completely out of place for the time period, and scientists believe that it may have extraterrestrial origins. He was buried in a tomb that was fit for his high status, but the shifting desert sands quickly covered it up, hiding it from the world for over 3,000 years. In 1922, British Egyptologist Howard Carter discovered the tomb after his team found a step hidden underneath the sands of the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. Over the course of several weeks, they uncovered an antechamber, a treasury, and then the tomb itself, which contained an abundance of artwork, jewellery and treasures. Amongst these treasures were 2 daggers, one made of hardened gold and the other made of iron, which puts this dagger out of place on the accepted timeline, because ironwork was not mastered until centuries later. Through X-ray scans of the iron dagger, experts suspect that it was created through low-temperature forging, and analysis of the metal's composition has revealed that it contains high levels of nickel, cobalt, and other elements that are not commonly found in terrestrial iron. While this alone is not enough to guarantee the dagger's extraterrestrial origins, we can look to the Amarna letters, a series of 3,400-year-old tablets that document diplomatic activities in ancient Egypt. The letters amazingly mention an iron dagger in a gold sheath that was given to Amenhotep III, Tutankhamun's grandfather, by the king of Mitanni when the pharaoh married his daughter. This fascinating piece of history shows that iron daggers were prized possessions at the time. They may have believed that the iron had come from the heavens themselves, imbued with the power and energy of the gods. By using it in a weapon fit for a king, they may have been hoping to channel that energy and strength into their earthly realm to protect their kingdom and ensure prosperity.
The Olmec Heads.
The Olmecs were an ancient civilization that flourished in the tropical lowlands of what is now Mexico from around 1400 BC to 400 BC. Although they are considered one of the oldest and most mysterious civilizations of the Americas, their legacy can still be seen today in the ruins of their great cities, such as La Venta and San Lorenzo. The Olmecs were known for their unique art and architecture, which featured intricate carvings, elaborate ceremonial centers, and their development of complex systems of writing and calendar keeping, all of which laid the foundation for later civilizations of Mesoamerica, such as the Maya and the Aztecs. But perhaps their most mysterious contribution to the world was the colossal stone heads. The Olmec heads are carved from basalt, a type of volcanic rock that is extremely hard and difficult to work with. The sculptures range in height from approximately 1.5 to 3 meters and weigh between 6 and 50 tons. The largest of the Olmec heads is located at the ancient city of La Venta. The Olmec heads are all portraits of specific individuals, and each one is unique in its features and detail. The faces are highly realistic and show a great deal of individual expression, with prominent cheekbone, broad noses, and distinctive facial hair. Some of the sculptures also feature headdresses or other ornamental elements that are thought to represent the statue's role or the individual depicted. One of the most striking intrigues of the Olmec heads is that the facial features do not appear consistent with the characteristics of the later cultures such as the Maya and the Aztecs that thrived in the area after them. Despite their immense size, the sculptures are highly polished and show intricate patterns and design, such as jaguar pelts, feathered serpents, and other symbolic motifs. The level of skill required to create such detailed sculptures shows highly advanced artistic and technical abilities. Despite the debate surrounding their origins, the Olmecs continue to captivate the imaginations of historians and archaeologists alike. Whether they were the descendants of an ancient seafaring civilization or simply the product of their own unique environment, the Olmec heads remain one of the most intriguing and enigmatic aspects of the Americas.
The Voynich Manuscript.
Regarded by many as the most mysterious book in the world, the Voynich Manuscript is a 15th century codex that continues to mystify scholars to this day. Its author and purpose remain unknown, despite being rediscovered in 1912 by rare books dealer Wilfrid Voynich, for whom the book is now named. Over the centuries, it has appeared and disappeared in various places, from the library of the Holy Roman Emperor to a secret book sale in Rome by the Society of Jesus. Some believe that it was created by an alchemist or a heretic who used it to record secret knowledge that was considered too dangerous or taboo. Others think that it may have been created by a member of a secret society who used the manuscript to communicate with other members and keep their knowledge hidden from the rest of the world. Carbon dating has placed its creation date in the early 15th century, making it more than 500 years old. This means that the manuscript has survived wars, fires, and other disasters that have completely destroyed countless other documents and artifacts from the same time period. Despite many attempts to trace the owner's history, there are still many gaps and mysteries in its provenance. Currently, it is housed at Yale University. Its language is completely indecipherable, and its contents remain elusive, making it impossible to verify any claims about its contents against other historical materials. But it is not just the language that is strange. It is filled with illustrations of various plants, zodiac signs, floating heads, mythical creatures like dragons, castles, women bathing, and astronomical symbols. Scholars have attempted to categorize these illustrations into 6 primary sections, namely botanical, astronomical, biological, cosmological, pharmaceutical, and recipes. Despite numerous attempts, experts have been unable to crack the manuscript's code and decipher its texts. The closest attempt has been made by German Egyptologist Rainer Hannig, who has suggested that the word structure rules out an Indo-European language and points towards a Semitic language such as Arabic, Aramaic, or Hebrew. By using the clues given by the images and the illustrations, he claims to have translated some of the words and sentences by identifying a connection between certain characters in ancient Hebrew. There are, however, many who doubt the accuracy of these translations.
The Antikythera Mechanism.
During the spring of 1900, a group of sponge divers found themselves seeking shelter from a fierce Mediterranean storm. After the tempest had subsided, they embarked on a dive for sponges in the waters near the small island of Antikythera, situated between Crete and mainland Greece. By sheer luck, they chanced upon the remains of an ancient Greek vessel, which turned out to be the catalyst for the very first large-scale underwater archaeological operation in history. Under the vigilant gaze of a Greek Navy gunboat to dissuade potential looters, the divers set about retrieving a wealth of ancient Greek artifacts, including stunning bronze sculptures, exquisite glassware, jewellery, furniture fittings, tableware, and amphorae. Alongside these items, they also found a rather unremarkable-looking lump, which they likely retrieved because of its bronze colour. At the time, this lump did not appear to be significant, but today it is recognised as one of the most important technological discoveries ever unearthed from the ancient world, the Antikythera Mechanism. Months after its discovery, the object was broke apart to reveal small gear wheels inside, each about the size of a coin. This was a momentous discovery, as no one had suspected that ancient Greece possessed such precise mechanisms. Over the years, scholars have tried to piece together the fragments in order to determine its purpose. As the artifact had spent over 2,000 years underwater, the corrosion has taken its toll on it. Scholars were unable to make sense of the fragments for decades, until X-ray imaging revealed the device in stunning detail. The mechanism displays celestial time using hands for the sun, the moon, and the planets that are visible to the naked eye. The calendar on the device was based on the time between the 2 full moons, and it had a special dial that could visualize the seasons, which would have been helpful for agriculture and important festivals such as the Olympics. Additionally, the inventor of the Antikythera mechanism included 2 dials that rotated to show both lunar and solar eclipses. However, the most advanced feature of the device was its lunar calculations. It could determine the moon's period at a specific time and model its elliptical orbit. Despite the missing pieces, experts have been working to decipher the inscriptions inside the mechanism, which hint at where it was made and who may have created it. The Antikythera Mechanism proves that ancient Greeks used complex arrangements of precisely cut wheels to represent the latest in scientific understanding, and it is a window into how the Greeks saw their universe.
The Easter Island Heads.
Most people are familiar with the iconic images of Easter Island heads, but what many do not realise is that some of these monolithic structures actually have bodies buried beneath them. The sculptures, also known as moai, are a group of large statues located on Easter Island, which is a small remote island in the southeastern Pacific Ocean. Moai were carved by the Rapa Nui people who inhabited the island. The Rapa Nui have a fascinating and mysterious past. They almost disappeared from existence just a few centuries ago and have an undecipherable written language known as Rongo script that no one alive today can read. It is believed to be ancient in origin, containing glyphs of humans and animals, some of which are not present, at least not currently, on the island today. It's been suggested by renowned geologist Robert Schoch that the language may signify solar flares, the shapes formed by plasma from the sun and displayed in the Earth's atmosphere. Potential evidence to back this theory up is the intricate cave system that is found on Easter Island, where the inhabitants may have hidden during such solar storms. Dr. Schoch suggests that the language was developed to document their observations, adding even more mystery to this strange isolated island. Today, it remains elusive how the almost 1,000 statues, some towering up to 33 feet tall and weighing as much as 80 tons, were constructed. However, the descendants of the original statue builders still live on the island and are actively engaged in creating art and preserving their cultural traditions. Through archaeological excavations, researchers have revealed that the moai aren't just heads. The statues also have bodies, which have become buried by rocks and sediment from either natural causes or possibly buried by the previous inhabitants of the island. The petroglyphs etched on the back of the figures, which were commonly crescent-shaped, symbolising Polynesian canoes. The canoe design was likely a representation of the carver's family, which offers insights into various familial groups and structures on the island. About half of the moai have been placed around the island at various sites, but the rest remain clustered around the volcano where they were carved. It is thought that the Rapa Nui would have carved the faces and the front side of the statues while they were lying in the ground, and then completed the backs after they were lifted into an upright position. Today, the moai statues are a symbol of the island's cultural heritage and a testament to the remarkable achievements of the Rapa Nui people. Despite the challenges they faced, they were able to create some of the most impressive sculptures in the world, imbued with a sense of mystery and wonder that still captivates us today.